We are live. Hey, welcome to today's Q&A. We have so much to celebrate today. Thanks you guys for joining me. As always, well, my name is Jessie. So as always, this is our Q&A. This is an opportunity for you to ask your questions, get them answered here live. And if you're watching the replay, welcome as well. You can still put your questions in the chat and I will respond to them within the chat. Otherwise, we're here, we're answering your questions and filling you in on some things that we have to celebrate today. So this week, this year, what? It's 2024. It is the 30th of January. And again, I thank you for being here. A little bit of Q&A. Honestly, if you put your zip code and or your city and state into the chat, that will help me answer some of your questions, because the most asked question I get is, what do you have available in my area? Well, I need to know where you live. So throw that into the chat so that I can answer it. And then we'll dive a little bit deeper into what's available in your area, what the qualifications are, and what the hiring process is. Cool? Cool. All right, before we dive in, I've got Katie here in the chat, currently in the chat right now. So give her a shout out. But before we dive in, we have a lot to be thankful for. There's 39 and windy. It's beautiful here. It's gorgeous. But we do have a lot to be thankful for. This morning, as of this morning, the Best Fleets to Drive For announced the top 20 companies again, and Decker has yet again claimed one of those titles. So this is our third year that in a row that we have been nominated and earned the top 20 Best Fleets to Drive For. So quite impressive for a company this size. Huge congratulations to everybody involved. And this is like a massive thing. We have, the way that Best Fleets works is you are nominated by a driver. And that's how you even dive into this. So you're nominated by a driver, and then from there, you have a big questionnaire that you answer and telling a lot about your company. You dive into numbers. So you've got statistics and just flat out numbers and averages, and you're doing all kind of research just to give them that information. And in addition to the questionnaire, a number of our drivers are sent out surveys. So Best Fleets sends out surveys asking the driver about Decker, and then it's like all aspects of it. How our maintenance program, our bonuses, our pay, our equipment, the overall culture. There's a ton of questions in there. And you're really diving deep in getting to know Decker. Well, the cool thing is you get to know us every single week, because we go live on our Facebook page, we go live on our YouTube channel, and we're like an open book. We're here to answer questions. And so a lot of times when people come to Decker, they know Decker. They already know. So it's usually a really good fit for them. And, that's the whole goal of it, is to make sure that we're taking care of our professional drivers out on the road, and those professional drivers are doing the same for us. It's a little partnership. It's some teamwork in full action. So yeah, we see all these surveys that go out. Now, well, I should rephrase that. We don't get to see the individual surveys. That's Best Fleets, but we get to see responses in the way that where we can improve on, or what we're doing really well on, so that we can magnify it. And it is a learning process. They do a lot of research on the company in order to make sure that it is a good company to work for, and that, how to represent and if it's representing the trucking industry well, and if we're taking care of our drivers well. So it's a heck of a discovery process for us to kind of see, we can improve in this area, or we're doing really well in this one, but you know what? I think we can even do better. But it's a learning process. It's very exciting. Anyways, not to dive, I guess, too deep, because if you've been part of the process, then you know. But you guys, congratulations to all of the Decker Truck Line family, from our professional drivers, of course, to our in-house employees, our shop employees. I mean, we've got a whole support system, and the families behind each one of them. So congratulations, 2024 Best Fleets to Drive for, the top 20 carriers. This is super cool. I get excited. Since we were originally nominated, to me this is just the coolest thing. Huge shout out. But speaking of shout outs, in addition to the Best Fleets to Drive for, we've had last week, our bonus was our bonus week. So we had our payouts for our bonus. We have our monthly scorecard and our safety bonus. But those prepare for Driver of the Year. So speaking of big hurrahs and big celebrations, the Driver of the Month is chosen from the scorecard and the safety bonus, along with many factors, but the scorecard and the safety definitely weigh in there. And the Driver of the Month winners for 2023, for December of 2023, for our more regional Midwest refrigerated and dry van division, was Randy Pratt. So congratulations to Randy. Donald Lamb and Jason Sneed were our runner-ups in that division. And then for our over-the-road refrigerated dry van division, our winner, William Parrish. So congratulations to William. Sean Miller was our runner-up for that division. Now I should mention as well, for each of the winners, so both Randy and William, and of course for our Midwest flatbed and over-the-road flatbed, and our owner-operator lease purchase winners, they'll receive a $100 gift card, Walmart gift card, but they'll also receive a $50 gift card to the Decker store. So if you want to get some of these, where are my items? If you want to get some of the merch, the perks of the store there, you can go ahead and either go online, or you'll be able to reach out to Steph and make those arrangements. But yeah, we have that, or even coming into the Decker store in Fort Dodge or Missoula, you'll be able to see all kinds of items. But those are the winners: Midwest refrigerated van, over-the-road refrigerated van. Our Midwest flatbed winner, Chad Fairchild. So congratulations to Chad. And our over-the-road flatbed division, David Mueller. Congratulations to David. And Hugh Millis was our runner-up there in our over-the-road flatbed division. Now you can see that some of our divisions have multiple, sometimes no. Sometimes there aren't any runner-ups, sometimes there's one, maybe two. It all depends on the size of that division. So of course, in our Midwest flatbed division, our Midwest flatbed divisions, or our over-the-road flatbed division, it's not as large of a division for us as our Midwest refrigerated. So we have one individual who's chosen for the runner-up or for the position versus two in our over-the-road or our Midwest flatbed division. I can't talk, but that's what I mean. And then our owner-operator lease purchase winner, we have Miss Roxine Jean. So congratulations for the owner-operator lease purchase Driver of the Month. And again, the winner gets a $100 gift card and a gift card to the Decker store, a $50 gift card to the Decker store. That's not it though. We're climbing stairs here on this one. So once you've gotten Driver of the Month, and of course, Driver of the Month, December Driver of the Month was the last for 2023. And all of those Driver of the Months are taken into account. You can only win Driver of the Month one time within the calendar year. So for 2024, we have 12 Midwest refrigerated dry van winners. We have 12 Midwest refrigerated or Western refrigerated dry van winners, or over the road. So for each division, we'll have our 12. And from those 12, we'll choose a Driver of the Year. So we're diving deep. So you know how I talked about Best Fleets to Drive for and how they really dove deep into the numbers, like the individual statistics of the company? We're doing the same thing for those professional drivers who've earned the Driver of the Month, because we've got to figure out who is going to qualify for the Driver of the Year position. This is a prestigious position, and I mean, it's a whole year process where you're getting high ranks in your scorecard, and you're getting probably perfect scores consistently on your safety record. I mean, that's what I'm seeing quite often with our professional drivers is perfect scores on the consistently getting perfect scores on the scorecard and of course the safety score as well. So that's not a requirement. It's just with the competition that you have here at Decker Truckline, you're going to see that it's fierce competition. So anyways, so we're diving deep into those numbers to see who of those driver of the months are going to come across or come out with the driver of the year title. Each driver of the year wins a $3,000 prize. So not only are they getting the decals with the driver of the year for decal with the year and driver of the year statement, and they're getting the jacket and the gifts, but they're also getting the $3,000. Now, going up one more level, because we just keep stacking it. Then you've got, from driver of the year, you've got the grand champion. And the grand champion is the best of the best. So the best of those driver of the years will receive a $15,000 prize. So yes, grand champion title is definitely the title to earn. And that is, again, the jacket and the decals, and I mean, the whole bee's knees. It's pretty fancy, and we go all out on that one. But that's what's going to be happening within this first quarter. We're going to be figuring out the driver of the years and the grand champions, but you won't know that until the big announcement. So we'll talk about that later in this first quarter. But just know that's what we've been going through. We have our winners again. Roxine, Chad, David, William, and Randy taking the titles for the remaining 2023 titles. And again, for 2024, the Driver of the Year program, you can only win Driver of the Month one time within the calendar year, but that's all you need to do in order to get into the running for the Driver of the Year. But keep in mind, you want to keep a consistently high scorecard and a consistently low safety, because that's how those are ranked, in order to maintain or in order to be competitive at the end of the year so that you can claim that title for yourself. Yes, Katie says it's officially time to gather annual numbers to determine our drivers of the year and grand champion. Yeah, not a small undertaking, definitely a process. Great numbers. You guys did a phenomenal job. The amount that goes out every single month is quite impressive towards bonuses. So speaking of congratulations of the driver of the months and our best fleets to drive for, but we've also been awarded the top carrier for high levels and compliance and performance by Descartes Macro Point. Now, for 2024, so again, we've earned that title yet again, and this is less than 1% of the trucking or the carrier networks out there. So again, taking the Descartes Macro Point top carrier titled once again. Congratulations to all of Decker Truckline and the supporting staff, the in-house and shop, and of course our professional drivers as well. And again, these announcements are just coming out left and right this week. I think everybody's doing their calculations, right? I think that's where they're coming up. At the end of December, there is an event in Fort Dodge called the Lights of Kennedy. And it is basically a light show, a Christmas light show at the Kennedy Center. And it is in Fort Dodge. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And we compete in it most every year. And again, we have taken that title as well. So huge shout out to Katie and Tammy and Eddie and the team. I mean, there's a lot of people involved in that. It's a lot of work and it's absolutely breathtaking. And those votes come from the public. So your public loves you guys. They did a phenomenal job. It was a Frozen theme. But yes, that was just voted on as well, and Decker took the first place title there. Do want to shout out to CJ Bio and Fairway, who received second and third place there in Fort Dodge as well. So again, you guys, congratulations. lots of things to celebrate. And well, if you want to be part of a winning team, why don't you give us a call? It's 877-433-2537. Let me dive into some of the available positions for you and tell you what your steps are to get to this level. All right? So first of all, there are current available positions as of January 30th. We have our over-the-road refrigerated division. It's a coast-to-coast position. You can live in, and again, please contact recruiting for the specific areas because those are going to change based off of how many people we have in the area, freight, all of that kind of stuff. Excuse me. And that stuff. So, that being said, if you live in, say, Spokane, Washington, Seattle, Washington, areas of the Northwest, Portland, Oregon, over to Hermiston, Oregon, those are all areas that we hire in our over-the-road refrigerated division, as well as Denver, Colorado, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Salt Lake City is a good area for us. We hire in areas of the Midwest, quite a few areas of the Midwest. The Midwest, whether you're in refrigerated or flatbed, it's going to be a very busy location for us. Iowa is our main terminal. That's our base. We have several terminals here in Iowa. So keep in mind that if you're looking to run for Decker, the Midwest is going to be an area you'd see quite a bit. So in our over-the-road refrigerated, we have a terminal in Missoula, Montana, as well as, of course, our main terminal in Fort Dodge. And you could be dispatched out of either location. Just know that it's, because those are the refrigerated divisions, but just know that you're going to be running mostly west of the Mississippi in our over-the-road refrigerated because those are the longer lengths of haul. So that doesn't mean that you wouldn't go see Alabama or Georgia or Texas. You definitely would, but most of it's going to be west of the Mississippi. Chicago is a busy area for us in both refrigerated and flatbed. Iowa, like I said, Iowa is very busy. So if you live in areas of Iowa, oh, by the way, I do want to keep in mind the areas that I said for over the road are definitely over the road. But if I am talking about an area for the refrigerated division that is more regional or maybe home weekly versus every 2 to 3 weeks, we can still run over the road in that area if you prefer. It's just we wouldn't be able to do the reverse. Like in Spokane or Missoula, you wouldn't be able to run home or get home every 5 days. We don't have that option out there. We just have the over-the-road option. But in Iowa, the Illinois area, we have a home every 5 days. And we have home every 7 days or 11 days in certain areas as well. So again, for hiring, we do hire out of the Dallas, Texas area, Houston, Texas is another good area for us for the refrigerated division. I mentioned the Atlanta, Georgia area and Birmingham, Alabama, also within our refrigerated division. Those are more over the road. Let's see, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, southern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, southern Michigan. Those are all good areas for our over the road refrigerated division. And our more regional refrigerated divisions as well. So you're looking about 7 days out in some of those areas, 11 days out in others, and of course our over the road are 2 to 3 weeks out in most of those locations. So the number that you're seeing here flying across the screen back and forth, that's actually the number to the recruiting department. So if you're interested in finding out more about Decker, specifically to what your wants, needs, and availability is, then please call them at 877-433-2537. And then we'll be able to get you specifics. Cool? Cool. Now, as for flatbed, we have our Midwest flatbed division. I'm going to picture this. I'm going to try and illustrate, without a map, I'm going to try and illustrate the hiring area for this Midwest flatbed division. This is a home weekly position. It does have a minimum pay of $14.50 per week. So your rate of pay per mile, and by the way, for our over the road and our regional positions, you have a rate of pay per mile, which is based on your experience level, and then you'll have the minimum pay for that division. And that each division is going to have its own minimum pay. If your rate of pay per mile exceeds the minimum pay, then you're going to get the better of the two. That's just how it is. But that minimum pay is a safety net for you. It's to protect you if you, have weather or mechanical or whatever the case might be, as long as you've um, what do I say, adhere, or as long as you have check marked all of the qualifications, the criteria in order to qualify for the minimum pay, you're fine. And those qualifications are pretty easy. Be available for dispatch 5 days out of the week, no load refusals, no driver service failures. Get your paperwork in on time, so you got to get your paperwork in by Tuesday night, and no preventable accidents and no CSA violations for the week. That's it. Those are the 6 criteria per week. Easy peasy. Yes. Pedro is asking, do you have refrigerated in Houston, Texas? Yes. We have over the road, which would put you out either 2 to 3 weeks at a time, or you can stay out 11 days at a time and then home for 3 days. You'd bring the truck home with you on your home time. And the requirements for that position are you're either a recent graduate of an approved school and then we train, or you have at least 6 months of solo tractor trailer experience. And then you'd have a 3-day orientation instead of a week-long orientation. And then you'd be running solo instead of having to go out with a trainer. So that's the difference between those requirements. But yes, we do hire refrigerated out of Houston, Texas with a couple of different home time options. So again, 877-433-2537 to talk to one of the recruiters and or get your application in just by going to drivedecker.com and filling out the application there. So for those qualifications, making sure that you have all 6 of the criteria for the minimum pay. Again, one more time, no CSA violations for the week, no preventable accidents for the week, no late loads, so no driver service failures, no load refusals. Get your paperwork in on time. Those are did I say the paperwork one already? But those are the requirements for the minimum pay. All right, so again, with that $14.50 or with that Midwest flatbed position, the minimum pay is $14.50 a week. You're home weekly, usually on a Friday night or a Saturday morning, and then leaving back out either Sunday night or Monday morning. So that's the norm for that $14.50 minimum pay. Usually home sometime during the weekend in the flatbed division. And again, it's 5 days out, and then you've got your home time there. So if you have questions about it, let the recruiter know or put it in the chat and I'll answer it. There isn't, the same with the minimum requirement though, you need 6 months of experience to go into that position. If you are a student and are a recent graduate of a school, you'll need to go through the training and everything first before you go in to the $14.50 or before you go into a solo position. For instance, the training program is a week-long orientation. We pay you $500 for completing orientation. By the way, $500 for orientation, whether you're an experienced driver and doing a 3-day orientation or you're a student doing a 5-day orientation. So it's a $500 orientation pay. We take care of your hotel, we take care of your meals, we get your transportation to Fort Dodge, whether it be a rental car or a flight, or so we've got options for you there. Before you even go to orientation in Fort Dodge, you'll have an online orientation sent to you. You can watch it on your phone, you can do it on a tablet, you can do it on a computer. But what it is you're watching a video. It's a series basically. So you'll watch a video followed by a couple of questions that are relevant to the video. Answer those before moving on to the next video, questions, etc. So you'll do the online orientation prior to coming to the physical orientation in Fort Dodge. You'll do both the hair follicle and the urinalysis before coming to orientation in Fort Dodge, and we'll get you a valid physical as well. If you already have a physical that's good for another year or so, then that should be fine. We'll just need you to send the long form to your recruiter, and that way we can get it signed off on and we don't have to get you scheduled for another physical. But the drug tests, of course, we've got to get scheduled ahead of time. Anyway, so then you have your orientation process. As a student, you'll have that full week. If you're going into flatbed, you're going to do flatbed securement and tarping as well. And then you'll go out with a trainer for 2 to 3 weeks. If you're with a trainer, you'll be paid you'll be paid $700 per week with a trainer. So it's basically $100 a day while you're training. Once you're done training, like I said, about 2 to 3 weeks, then you will start going solo. You'll come back to Fort Dodge. You'll walk through the truck with the maintenance department, get comfortable with it, and then you'll be dispatched out in a solo position for the division that you were hired on for. So again, make sure that you're talking to the recruiter so you've got the details on that specific position. And that way once you transition from the student to the solo position, you know exactly what to expect. And at that point, you'll get your minimum pay or your rate of pay per mile, depending on which one's going to be the better of the two each week. And you get paid every Friday, direct deposit. So that's how that works. If you're an experienced driver, it is going to be a little bit different because obviously you're not going to have to go with a trainer. You'll only have a 3-day orientation. You'll still have your physical, your drug tests, your online orientation. So you'll have all of that. Instead of going out with a trainer, you'll meet with the maintenance department, throughout the orientation. You'll meet with the maintenance department. You'll walk through your truck, get comfortable with it, know how to run the APU units and all of the inverters and the microwave and the TVs. I mean, these trucks are loaded. So APUs, inverter, refrigerator, microwave, television. It's a 22-inch television. It's a smart TV. So if you want to hook up Netflix or whatever, you can do that. But Decker pays for Epic View Satellite TV. It's 100+ channels. It includes HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Sunday Ticket. It's a full package. And we do have Wi-Fi in the trucks. It's available through our TransFlow Geotab unit as well. So that's also going to be in there if you decide you want to stream music or something as well. Speaking of, we have Sirius Radio available in the trucks. It's all equipped. You would have to hold the subscription for the Sirius Radio if you'd like that, but that's all there for you as well. These trucks are double bunks, so they definitely have room. Most of them are the 579 Peterbilts with the ultra-loft sleepers, so they're bigger, they're roomier. They have both the driver's side and the passenger side air ride seats. So if you have a passenger, we allow ages 10 up. So if you've got a passenger that rides with you, it's $25 a month. Then they'll be comfortable as well going down the road. And then we also have our with all the trucks have the CB units in them. We've got the TransFlow Geotab unit that I mentioned. We do have the lytic system, so the inward and outward facing event recorders, lane departure, speed gauge, that's all that big safety unit, that's all there. Now with that, the lytic system, you can get all kinds of things with that. We did not opt for the live feed. So you can get the live feed through lytics, but we don't opt in for that. So if you're researching some of the equipment that we have, the trucks, the safety features, the CB units, things like that, just know that with that specific one, we didn't include all of the options. We didn't get all of those. Okay, moving on. What else do the trucks have that I can tell you about? Oh, mitigation. They're fully equipped, you guys. These are really nice trucks. Some of them, I did mention the 579s. We do have a few Volvos and a few Freightliners. And I believe right now we just got a shipment of Freightliners. So you'll be seeing those coming in. If you're coming into orientation this next week, there's a likelihood that might be what you're seeing. However, normally when it comes to assigning trucks, new trucks that are coming in, our 2024s, we tend to give those to our already Decker veteran drivers first before bringing in and having somebody that's brand new, well, especially brand new to the industry, but brand new to Decker in one of those. So yeah, it goes with the longevity basically. But if you have questions, let us know, and it is based off of availability. So I do know that with the upgrade of trucks that we just recently got, some of the trucks that are being rotated for the next class are the Freightliners. And they also have the APUs and the inverters and the refrigerators and the microwaves. And I mean, they are, again, fully equipped trucks. Speaking of fully equipped, the beds, the sleepers, the beds are extra long twins. So if you're looking for the mattress cover and the sheets and stuff like that, it's an extra large twin. And I do know if you don't bring it to orientation, I do know that some of those are available in the local Walmart for sure. I think there's a couple other locations in Fort Dodge too that carry them, but yeah, it's an extra large. So if you're ordering it, what else do I get asked? Inverter 1800 watts, and yeah, benefits. Benefits will start after 60 days. And that's going to include your Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance, your medical, your dental, your vision. We have a 401k as well, which is a 50% match. And then any additional insurances that you have. We do cover you on on life insurance too. We have a $10,000 life insurance policy for you. But if you increase it, or if you add on short-term and long-term disability or critical illness, I mean, there's a lot of extras that you can choose to invest in, but yeah, that all starts after 60 days of employment. George, how are you? Not yet, I don't. Well, I don't know. We do, however. George goes, do you have my 389 yet? You guys, for those of you who have been following us for a while, we do have 389s, the 389 Peterbilts, and actually those normally go to our veteran drivers who have over 15 plus years of experience here at Decker itself. So if you've been with Decker for over 15 years, then you get to a little bit of specking your truck. And that's why you see as many as you do, because we do have a lot of longevity here at Decker. Not everybody chooses the 389s, but again, it's an option that you get. They're not as big on the interior. They are still double bunk, but you're comparing the 389s to the 579s, which are ultra loft and much bigger. I do have to admit, the 389s are pretty sharp, all chromed out and stuff. And if you guys are looking for a truck, so if you're an owner-operator and you're looking to upgrade, or if you're looking to become an owner-operator, we do have trucks for sale as well through the Decker Truck and Trailer Sales. Just let us know. You can message us here on this channel, or you can check out the Decker Truck and Trailer Sales Facebook page. I think it's called Decker Truck Sales Facebook page, and you can go look at some of the equipment there. George, I know that 389 is over there, so I do know there's a 2020 389 over there. It is pretty. It's red. It does have all the chrome, and you can check it out. You can also check it out on our Facebook or our Decker Truck Sales website as well. So a couple ways to check it. So if 389 is what your heart is set on, you can check that out. Rotating, so speaking of truck sales and everything, rotating our trucks, we usually rotate them around 400,000, and that way when you're purchasing the truck, you still have a little bit of warranty on them. As far as Decker, we run trucks with the full warranty. We also, with our lease purchase drivers, they'll have it as well. Now, that being said, I'm not sure it's really a good time to lease purchase per se, but I do want to remind you that we have a requirement that you run as a company driver for a minimum of 6 months first. But we have options, so depending on what you're looking for and everything. But yeah, just reach out to us, get a hold of the recruiting department at 877-433-2537. Get you more details. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com. If you're looking for a truck specifically to run owner-operator, then you'll go over to Truck and Trailer Sales. Cool. Covering all grounds here. There we go. Okay, so like I said, benefits start after 60 days. Medical, dental, vision, prescription. Prescription, we've got some fantastic prescription programs. We've got a couple of them. Especially if you being out on the road, if you're going to do like the mail order prescriptions versus going into a local pharmacy, can save you a lot of money on some of those brand name and specialty brand drugs, brand names and specialty drugs. So if you have any of those prescriptions, keep that in mind. But we also have $0 generic copays as well. The only exception is Walgreens or CVS. So if you go into a pharmacy, those are the only two that don't qualify under the $0 generic copays. Otherwise, you're covered. Yeah. Benefits. Where am I missing? Benefits, equipment, running lanes. I think we covered it. I think we did. All right. If you guys have any other specific questions, let me know. And again, you can reach out to the recruiting department at 877-433-2537. A huge congratulations to the Decker family, the extended family, our professional drivers, our shop, our in-house, everybody for winning the best fleets to drive for. Top 20 best fleets to drive for in 2024. This is our 3rd year in a row that we have owned that title, and we are quite proud of it. So huge congratulations to each and every one of you guys involved in that. It is quite an honor. Other than that, I will see you next week. Unless you're going to be on TikTok, we'll see you here later this week as well. Probably later today as well on our TikTok channel. Otherwise, we'll see you next week here on our YouTube and Monday on our Facebook page. Have a great one. Hey, Dean. Dean, how are you? All right, you guys have a great one. Thank you.